Welcome back to the challenge map that was skipped that we're going to do as part of this because, you know, I'm going to do everything. I might as well do everything, like I say. So I will preface this. This map is a good idea. It is genuinely terrible. So, Lonbeck H is our opposition in the south. He's one up from his, I already forgot what we killed, his son-in-law, his nephew, whatever. He's a tier 3 anyway. The map is mostly the same. There's an interesting detail that all of the villages in the south are now neutral. I don't know why they're not red, for instance, but the fact that we drove out the previous humans, that's cool design. Okay, we didn't move south of our general area. We did stop them from living there. Cool. And we start with Exposition Vrag. Now, to show off one thing about this that is a bit questionable, think for a moment, pause this video when I'm done talking for a second and ask yourself, how would I design a scenario where the enemy was represented by an essentially unlimited force? It's the advanced elements of an unlimited force that you will have no chance against standing up against ultimately. So think about that. Think about that kind of aesthetic. The United States Army is coming. This is Force Recon. Now that you've thought about it, this is how they decided to do it. He just starts with 10,000 gold, straight up. And not only does he start with 10,000 gold, continual replay, pull out all my guys, he just straight recruits tier 2 units. Pikemen, longbowmen, dragoons, and I think swordsmen. I just watched this, but I've already forgotten. So the general strategy is the same. You cannot win. At turn 8-ish, we'll see if we remember it right, one of your guys will be randomly pulled off the map and run away, and then on turn 13 you just have to make it to the top with the boss and you win. So I don't know if this is an accident of RNG or if it's a coded behavior, but one thing that you'll notice is that he's recruiting exclusively infantry units right now. And we've talked about how Wesnoth maps often end in a single decisive battle. And then at that point you mop up or you retreat or whatever. Then, something else happens. In this case, the entire aesthetic there, you can win a single pitched battle against these guys in night. And then realize that, this isn't gonna work. A little bit of roleplay here. He's correct. Vrag was right. Insolence. Son of the Black Eye will never flee. So, this is just rude. He picks a guy that you recruited, says, go find the guys, and that man disappears. So, thanks. But in any case, you can win a single nighttime skirmish against these guys. Realize it's a horrible prospect and you're going to be screwed in the long run, and start trying to do a fighting retreat back to the north. If they only had infantry, that would be a perfectly well-designed and good map. What you'll notice here is that with his infinite 10,000 gold, and I mean, 10,000 gold's ridiculous. They could have had him recruit a few waves. What you'll notice is as the recruitment goes on, he's going to start producing more and more dragoons. Which, because we can't properly mop up their infantry, are going to show up as half waves that we can't really account for, like this. And there we go, we've got an extra guy from the next wave that's already participating. That dragoon runs off like he doesn't care. But so it creates this, on the one hand, it creates this sense of constant pressure. On the other hand, you don't want a sense of constant pressure when the objective is for you to hold out, is for you to realize that you've made a mistake and then try to run away. You want, this is the one time in the Wesnoth game design that you really want there to be a pivotal battle. That you can win with difficulty, and then realize that that's not where it ends, and there's no way you're going to be able to do it again because the next wave is coming in during the day. So this gets thrown off by the fact that the combination of now he's just pulling out horse guys that are going to run down any stragglers that we couldn't kill, and we still have 4 turns to wait. I've been save scumming for good luck, and my front line is already down to 3 guys who are being attacked by the far more reliable on bad terrain humans. There is essentially no way for me to get anything more out of this scenario than I already have. But we've still got 4 turns to go. Here comes another Dragoon. Then he stops recruiting Dragoons, which makes me think it's just random. So at this point, here we are. It's getting dark. Now that it's getting dark, I have no units left to mount a final resistance against the last guys. I have no money to make it back to get more guys, because there are just too many of them. At this point, you can play... I could have played this a little smarter. I'll put that straight out there. I could have had a fewer guys die on this line, and then kind of had a second staggered line where maybe I tried to pull some of them into the trees to the right, or I tried to delay some of them in the second set of trees before where my crossbowmen are now. Which I'm actually going to do just a moment. Don't let that warrior's heroic promotion fool you. He is dead. But the combination of all of that is that I cannot... You cannot beat this back. Which is great, but it really needs some tuning. And you'll notice I basically ignored the entire left half. I poured everything into fighting off half of his dudes, or about 2/3 of his dudes, which would depend based on the, where does the AI decide to go, which isn't really random, but, And here we are on this final turn. The warrior will die. And now it's just, okay, save and reload, frankly, until nobody dies to the pile of Dragoons that can go wherever they want. And at this point I'm even bleeding money. You just come out of this mission badly off. Except I get a couple of promotions out of it. And then this is more of a personal problem, but there's a little bit of map left. At this point, if the objective had been make it to the signpost wall, that front was still collapsing, then it kind of makes sense that you're fleeing. At this point in the map, they're on top of you, they're faster than you, there are more of them than you, and they're higher level than you. Hitting the signpost feels like seizing the final objective, planting the final flag, while there are bullets flying through you, and then the bullets all just stop, because you won the match. Round 1. Have you ever seen the Dawn of War 1 introductory cinematic? That Space Marine limping up the hill and planting the orbital beacon, even though he's been shot and killed. That's all this is. And for an escape, that doesn't really work. That's right, flee, you cowardly orcs. To kind of help us out, off-screen, well, I kind of clicked through it, Vush gave us an extra 100 gold, so we don't start out completely screwed. And, I said we came out of this worse off, 9 losses for 6 kills. The only recalled unit that I lost was, 1 archer, and then I promoted a warrior and also lost him. In comparison, I picked up a pillager and 2 crossbowmen, got 100 gold. Are we better off or worse off? I guess I can't really say, but in any case, behold this beautiful blue stream of units running all the way down. He has spent 1,600 gold. He's losing 50 a turn. It's just overkill. But that's what we liked when we were 15, wasn't it?